Many of you contacted me asking me how you can book a reading with me. Navigate to my channel page and find my name. Click on the More button, and there it will open up the About box section. There I have listed the number of the number of minutes, the number of questions, and the price, along with the delivery method. So say for instance you contact me, you say, Tara, I would like to have a 45-minute reading, my most popular package by the way, and you can see that it's 3 to 4 questions, the price, and the delivery method. Here you can find my email address, and so that's all you have to do. Let me show you again. Come to find my name, click on the More button, and there you have all the instructions on how to book. So let's get to the reading right now. Hi Libra, this is going to be your September 2024 Sun, Moon, and Rising video. I'm running behind in my work, so we're going to get straight to the reading. I have with me the Radiant White deck, the LIBRA Sun for clarification if we need, and we'll wrap the reading up with a Golden Nostradamus card. Okay, let me turn the camera around. I have already done some shuffling and meditation on your sign and glyph. This year is almost over. I can't believe it. 2024 has gone by so fast. We are coming up on September 1st, the astronomical first day of fall. After that, we have Halloween, and then we start moving into the big holidays, Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, Christmas, and New Year's. And you know, this is a very exciting time to be alive. I think we are witnessing a whole bunch of things changing, not only in our own personal lives, but for the country and for the world. And that we can attribute to Pluto in Aquarius. But he's gonna go back into Capricorn for a little while longer before he actually completely moves into Aquarius. I'm gonna shuffle. I'm feeling better. The Mercury retrograde was really killing me. It started out in Virgo, and Virgo, you know, is all about the health and the body. And my stroke symptoms were really strong this time. We have one more to go, Mercury retrograde, but it won't be in Virgo. I don't know, I haven't looked, but at least it won't be in Virgo. Okay, 9 cards down. Let's cut the cards. First card out, the Death card. This came out on the Virgo reading in the same place. Judgment. Seven of Cups. Now, whatever is ending, it's a transformation of a new situation. Okay? But it's going to require your judgment. And it may be confusing. Let me continue. Next row, the Sun, which kind of backs up what's going on in the Death card. See the Sun rising right there? A new day. Next row, the Six of Cups. Next row, the Five of Swords. Next card. Now next row. The Ten of Swords. This card came out a couple of times in different readings. The Tower card. That's our Uranian card. This is a Pluto card. This is our Uranus card. Temperance. That's our Jupiter. It represents Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So there is a lot of fire, even though we don't see any wands. This is a fire card. This is a fire card. That's a fire card. This is a fire card. Using modern astrology, Mars, Jupiter, and I forget which one that represents. So what do we have underneath the deck? The overall energy, the Six of Pentacles. The cards are red. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. With the interplay of the cards. And so we will start with the Six of Cups. And this is a card about sharing, giving. Sometimes it even represents inheritance. Inheritance is coming to you. Childhood, sentimentality. Sometimes I've even seen it when people are redecorating or remodeling their house. Sometimes I've even seen it when it talks about going back to visit maybe your old neighborhood or going to a high school reunion. So it can act many ways. But the main thing I see are three people. Even though I don't have any court cards. Let me show you what I mean. I have three people here in the foreground. Three people here. There's even three people in this card. If you can see, there's a man walking away. There are three people here. And an implied three people, not implied three people, three persons, but an implication of a three, even in the Tower, because the Tower card has a symbol right in the middle and two people falling down. So I don't know if this involves family members or friends. But that, as I explained, is just a transformation of one situation to another. All modes of ideas and concepts of behavior has to change, and this is moving to a new way of life. I think going here, the past, with the sun following right behind death, this is a time of illumination for you. As this phase of life or whatever it is passes away, you're going to gain illumination. Because you can always see more clearly by the sun than you can a full moon. And that's the purpose of the sun, is to shed a light on exactly what you're doing or what's around you. I also think it's going to be some kind of announcement. I have three flags here. And flags to me always mean announcement is coming. But I feel that the anchor card here has some importance, because either you got surprise or ambush with the overkill card. It only takes one well-placed sword in the back to kill a person. So this implies that there's something that was maybe too much for you. It says that the crisis point has been reached. It's 10. As a matter of fact, it goes from 5, and you gain 5 more swords. So whatever this is, it's like the culmination of everything. But it also is a card that says you might travel by water, around water, over water, or near water. And that it's the darkest before the dawn. Maybe the sun comes out, but then it goes back in, but it's going to come out again. It's the darkest before the dawn. See the sun shining? Sometimes it can indicate that there may be some physical ailments. But if there are, it's caused by your thoughts. So it can portend disaster or ruin. But again, whatever this thing is or about, it's going to be the start of a new way of life for you. As I was saying, here behind the Judgment, these cards, major arcana cards, are your spiritual lessons, and you have 5. Cups represent emotions only, and swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. And again, I'm getting the message that some kind of announcement is going to be made. See the flag there with the horn? And the flag, to me, always represents the international symbol for the hospital. So that could be some news that help is on the way. Something that's going to come to you through some kind of information or message, announcement, that's going to make you realize you're being called to a newer life, a better life. And all that came before, it is just what came before. But Judgment is not just judgment, it's a card of karma. So this could be not a secular type of karma, but a spiritual karma. That's why you are being called to a new life. You have to look at your life and think that you've done, have to accept what you've done, accept responsibility for what you've done. And then and only then can you be called to something new. But it's not just judgment on a karmic level. It can also be the fact that you are going to be required to think about what you're doing or what you're going to do. And how is it going to affect you going forward once a change start to become. I don't know another word for it. And then we have the 7 of, and incidentally, this is 20. And by the numerology, it breaks down to a 2. So that means you're going to have to make some type of decisions about how you want to live your life. Since you're being called to a new, you have to make a decision. And 2s always represent choices, options, dualities, a crossroads. So something comes up in your life, or maybe it's just you're turning a certain age, And now it's time for you to karmically grow up. Take another step up on the evolutionary spiritual level. But you're going to have to use your own best judgment. And don't let anybody else change what you come up with. Because I see that there's a bunch of confusion here. This is 7. And 7s represent a time of questioning yourself, of doubting yourself. And it's funny because it falling in line with here making a choice, but you have so many choices to choose from that you don't know what to choose, what's right for you. Here you have self-actualization, temptation, property, riches, peace, and power. But the card says, because it's a 7, and you're questioning what is you should do, what's best for you. Sometimes you may even be having a nightmare, or you may be fantasizing, building castles in the sky. So the card says that you have to narrow your choices down. And if you can find the most important thing, everything else will fall into place. That's right, it's the most important thing. It doesn't tell you what it is. But if you can identify the most important thing, everything else will become clear. And you may decide some of these things you don't need. You don't need temptation. You don't need power. You don't need property. Maybe you just need self-actualization and peace. So you have to determine. That's why I think judgment has come out before this card. And the card also says, because of 7, expect a small surprise. It doesn't say what kind of surprise. It just says expect a surprise, a small surprise, small but pleasant. But here comes the 5 of Swords, and 5 is a number of changes, ups and downs, tense energy. See how the clouds are going sideways on top of the thing? That says it's a lot of mental energy. And 2 people are walking off. They are not fighting anymore. This card usually represents whoever I'm reading for. You are the victor. But you have to be careful with this energy, because if you're fighting people or have a fight or argument with someone, they can end up stooping. Both you and them can stoop to any level to win. So you have to know when to choose your battles. And it always strikes me as strange that he has 2 swords over his shoulder. And to me that is implied 2 of swords. It's 5. See, there's 2 laying there. They giving up. 1 is in your hand. Like, yeah, even his face looks all ugly. It's like he knows he won. But the 2 swords over the shoulder, to me, implies that there can be some kind of doubt. Should I have said that or should I not? Should I have done that or should I not? And sometimes it can portend a breakup or separation. It can even be about gossiping, malicious gossip. So I don't know what this is about. But it doubles. You end up with 5 more swords. And it's an overkill. But then we come to the Tower card. And what's interesting to me are the 2 cards and this card all kind of the same, have the same energy. The Tower card is the only man-made structure in the deck. So this is about the structures that we build up in our lives, be it a job, be it a relationship, and we expect everything to stay the same all the time, but it cannot. The universe is always in flux, and things change. And this could be about unexpected changes. It's Uranus that says expect the unexpected. And there's some kind of movement over here. 2 horses. So some kind of movement, and then everything kind of stops. And then something comes crumbling down. And the crown getting struck by lightning at the top of the structure can represent enlightenment, aha, an idea, an epiphany. Oh, that's what that means. Oh, that's what that meant. But it definitely implies some type of upheaval. And there's a lot of fire around these cards. This is water, this is air, but these cards represent fire. They represent fire in the major arcana sense, about spiritual lessons. So I think whatever this is, it's going to be powerful. It literally is kind of knock you off your feet. But expect the unexpected. It's like when you're driving down the road and you hear this noise in your car, and you say, if it keeps doing it, I'm gonna take it to the mechanic. But then the noise stops, and you drive on another week, and then suddenly one day you're late for work and your car stops. You heard it the first time. The car was saying, hey, pay attention to me. So this is a breakdown of certain structures that you built in your life. It could be physical things. It could be a relationship. It could be the way you treat yourself. It calls for new ideas. And then we end with the Temperance. Maybe somebody has been drinking a lot. Temperance, moderation, economy. But usually I see this card show up when people come to me and ask me in a reading, am I on the right path? And this card says, yes, you are on the right path. But you see that crown back there? It's the same crown that has been knocked off. It says to trust your heart and to know how to balance out your feelings, because she's having water poured back and forth between the 2 cups, and the foot is in the water, but keeping one foot on the ground. So this is about balancing your being grounded in yourself and your emotions. It can be about reconciliation, but I don't mean reconciliation like 2 people coming back together. That's a possibility. I mean reconciling the opposites. I want to do this, but I feel like doing that. And reconciling the opposites. I don't know how else to say it. It's like, it's a fire card, and the angel is pouring water, and everybody knows you can put a pot of water on the stove, you can make it simmer, and steam is a release. But if you turn the fire up too high, the water will boil over and put out the fire. So it's about getting the temperature just right. And then we come to the Six of Pentacles. Now this card can also speak to a small inheritance, possibly. But mostly it's about philanthropy, giving, sharing. Sometimes it could be like just when you need money, it comes to you. It can be a gift. Or maybe somebody in your family needs money and you have enough to give to them. But I always give a warning with these Six of Pentacles, because there are three figures in the card, and one person is receiving everything and one person is receiving nothing. And there are the scales. It needs to be balanced out. So, to me, this card says, if something is happening in your life and you don't feel like you're getting back what you put in, be it time, money, love, respect, maybe you should watch how you're giving. Underneath there, we have the King of Swords. I don't know what he has to do with anything, but he made an appearance. I didn't have any core cards until I pulled that card off. So maybe this is, he normally represents Aquarius, but can represent Gemini or Libra. He showed his face. He kind of stuck his face out. So, since I don't have any core cards in the spread itself, I can look at the Seven of Cups, the Six of Cups, and mind you, you lost one cup, going from the 7 to the 6. So something must have been on offer, or you got rid of it. It emotionally meant nothing to you anymore. You had to whittle down your baggage. But here, you gain 5 swords. So I can look at the Seven of Cups, the Six of Cups, the 5 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords as they relate to these 4 major arcana cards. I mean 5 major arcana cards. I don't have to turn any other cards over because that's the way it is. We go to the Seven of Cups. It says nothing by these 5 major arcana. But it also says, it tells of the realization of the impact of one's thoughts in creating their daily reality. It asks that you not be fooled by illusion and fantasies. There may be an offer that has been that seems to be too good to be true. So you are asked not to make hasty decisions, but rather wait until all the facts are disclosed, as the truth may be hard to define clearly at this time. Six of Cups. Implies an acceptance and understanding of past issues and experience, and a time of quiet contemplation to assimilate all facets of your life to date. It could be an indication of a reunion with long lost family or friends. It tells of friends appearing from the past, or a new friend or acquaintance that will have a great deal in common with you. It can indicate an exchange of gifts. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you 2 sixes because it's implied and has an effect on the reading. 2 sixes can apply, can indicate justifiable faith and trust in your partner. I don't know about that. 5 of Swords. Maybe you trusted the wrong person. You gave them a little too much information or something like that. Let me look at the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords next to the Judgment. It is a message to avoid complicated situations. It indicates that you may have undergone a great deal of pressure recently, and it would be unwise to step into another similar situation. It may be implying that you have undergone much pressure in the situation, so take this as a lesson well learned and avoid any similar speculation or involvement in the future. Learn from the experience and understand and appreciate the lesson. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a Four of Swords. Let me get to the Five. Where is the Five? That's a Four. What happened to my Five of Swords? That's weird. It's missing from the book. Huh. That's odd. I just want to make sure that I got right. Hold on. I think I'm. That's so weird. There it is. There it is. That's so weird. I'm glad I caught that. So, we're talking about the Five of Swords. Nothing next to the about the Devil, any of these cards, but it can indicate that you have been involved in a conflict of some sort. It can even indicate permanent breakup of partnership or relationship of some kind due to the choices made by another. That's why these three people showing up in the spread. Yes. Okay, and the Ten of Swords, and then we put that right there. Because you jump from 5 to a 10. Let me just say this. When the Ten of Swords appears in a reading, it may be warning you to take the utmost caution when undertaking any new venture at this time, particularly if you will be with people who you do not know well or at all. These feelings of mistrust can lead to feelings of mistrust and suspicion, and the feelings may be warranted. So look closely at all avenues and from all angles before you proceed. But the crisis point has been reached with this. At least it looks like it's trying to end here, but suddenly it all implodes or explodes. And this is a card of healing. Being conscious of a reconciliation of opposites. I don't know how else to say that to you. Now, let me look at the cards. And I have to put that Five of Swords back in my book. I think I want just to look at the just the Ten of Swords. Excuse me. Here we go. The falsità. That's why I was saying the 2 sixes implies a justifiable faith and trust in a partner, and it could be any kind of partner. But it doesn't. I don't have wands here, and all the fire suggests some kind of passionate emotion around the situation. But it's a falsità. The lies, the manipulations, the false friends who are manipulating you. There's my King of Swords, the sacerdote. I can't say it now that I had a stroke, but he represents a priest and implies somebody that you can trust. But this is a 14th century deck, and back in the day, these guys had wives, they gambled, they drank, they had vices. So this is about perhaps him hiding things in his cloak. And he says that the problem is coming from the lies. His finger is pointing this way. And the money, the naughty. And I don't see any pentacles except over here. But Donati implies valuables, things that you lock up in a safe, but it falls under the Suit of Cups, because most people, when they argue or fight, it's over money. I will pull a Nostradamus card now. Either somebody's lying about it, or somebody's trying to cheat you out of it, or you're trying to cheat somebody else. And suddenly, it all comes crumbling down, whatever that means. I don't know if it's loss, it definitely implies that there's a fight. "13, the Knight." That's interesting because he says, the warrior. He's not at the warrior, but I always call him the Knight because that's the way he's dressed. The warrior. Arduous task, great legends impart, are conquered by the courage of a determined heart. There will be an event you will have to face with courage. The challenge will be met, and victory is certain, above all if you will be pure and virtuous. I think this is about shedding something that you should do, or that you felt was better for you. And so that's what I have for you, Libra, for September. Good luck.